Yeah, I'm going to continue where I left off. I had to take a call from a parent, and for me, business is always first. So I wanted, to really shed some light, moonlight, starlight, you know what I mean, sunlight, on the fact that young men, young black men, we like strength, they like unity. Now, I want to go back to my experience and what I saw with young black men coming up. Now, if you noticed in the 90s, at the late 80s, there was in the hip hop music, there had been this conscious movement of thought going, in the music. So you heard brothers like KRS One, you heard Public Enemy. You were listening to groups like Brand Nubians and X Clan. And so you had groups of brothers that were becoming conscious, talking about young black men. The same brother that probably would be kicking your door, like Biggie said, kick down your door, with the 444, whatever he was saying. You know what I'm saying? So you had the same brothers who would probably be robbing you, the same brother who would be snatching your money from you, robbing either other drug dealers. The same brother who would probably be going out and, you know, trying to shoot another brother for something. These brothers were becoming conscious. And so there was a consciousness movement in the mid to late 80s to the mid 90s. And at that time, I had started becoming conscious myself, 17, 18-year-old reading. But what I was attracted to was groups of brothers outside on the block. And they weren't necessarily on the block getting high. They were on the block kicking knowledge. It wasn't the fact that it was the religious aspect that got me. The brothers from the NOI were just cohesive. You had brothers that were coming back home from prison. You had brothers coming from college and school. You had brothers just coming up learning, but you had young brothers standing strong together. That was impressive, man. We like numbers. And because we like numbers and strength, we're attracted to that. You know what I mean? You watch any of these videos, you're always going to see brothers traveling numbers. Only recently you see the kind of individualism. But to be honest, brothers like numbers. Brothers don't join gangs because they want violence only. They join because they're looking for family. They're looking for brotherhood. They're looking for some sense of belonging. And remember, one of the highest needs on this planet, this is according to Maslow's, hierarchy of needs, who's a white psychologist. He said the highest need is a sense of belonging. So when young men start coming up, 6th grade, 7th grade, they're looking for a sense of belonging. And guess what? They're not looking at it with mommy. 9 times out of 10, they love mommy, but mommy can't give them a sense of belonging. They might look for the AAU basketball. They might look for it in Pop Warner. They just want packs and groups of other brothers so they can get a sense of what is it like to be cool? What is it like to be a young man? How do I get down? How do I join? You understand what I'm saying? Even in the early 90s, the young brothers were joining the Masonic Lodge. Anything where there were groups of brothers coming together was attractive. So when you ride down, when you ride down Stratford Avenue, or you ride down Whaley Avenue, and you see 18 brothers on bikes, it's not because they want to create a criminal situation. That's because when they ride down with 14 or 15 other brothers, man, they feeling that solid unity. They feeling that toughness. They feeling that kick-assness that anybody get into this group, we will mop them. And so I felt that same way when I joined the NOI. Our brothers are always looking for strength in numbers. Now, historically, when Black people tried to escape the South, they formulated patrols, slave patrols, and Black people couldn't congregate too much together. We had to spread out. In fact, we were so Black and strong that anytime they saw Black men together on a corner congregating, they broke that up. There's laws against Black men coming together. And subconsciously still, there is this thing that when you see a group of brothers come together, it's a threat. So they never, ever wanted Black men to come together, especially young Black men. So brothers coming together with a certain color on, it's attractive. What are they looking for? Sense of belonging. The highest need is not food for some of us. The highest need is social, emotional. It's a sense of belonging, that I belong. I'm looking for my identity. I got to find it in this group. But you say, wait a minute, that group is robbing and stealing. Yeah, but they represent strength. We don't understand. That's a need. And if you don't suffice a need and put some message in the group that'll cause them to move in a direction, then you got destruction. So if it wasn't for the NOI at the age of 18, I probably wouldn't have been speaking to you. I would have moved towards some other group because mommy couldn't give me the identity that I was looking for as for groups of men. Now, used to be back in the day, uncles, fathers, they had a group and they, kind of introduced that son to that group. Some did it through the Masons. Some did it through men's groups. Some did it through the lodge or other things. But we don't understand. And I'm saying this, look, sisters, can't blame yourselves. You know what I mean? Yeah, all of us could have made better choices of who we made children with. We got to take accountability and responsibility for that on both sides. But when you have a 7th grader, 8th grader, young man 12 or 13, the highest sense, the highest social, emotional, psychological need is a sense of belonging. He'll leave home and leave dinner to go outside and find that group that he finds a sense of belonging with. He'll stay out 2 o'clock in the morning because he's trying to get that sense of belonging. It's stronger than a drug. So I found it. Now, when I became a Muslim, my mother being Christian, she didn't like it. My father didn't like it. I didn't give a damn because the group was going out on the block and I was marching with my group. Luckily, my group was into the respect of women. Luckily, my group was into the upliftment of waking up Black people. Luckily, my group taught if you don't have a job, you make one. Luckily, my group taught me that I have to learn as a young man to be accountable and responsible, but all groups are not equal. Now, this came out because in the 80s, early 90s, those of you who are around, I was in my, late 19, 20 years old, the music was kicking consciousness and there was conscious movement. Almost every block, there was a Hebrew Israelite. There was Sunni Muslims. There was this group. There was the NOI. And even for the brothers that were gangbangers, they had those too. But I didn't see too many brothers being lone wolves by themselves. And I didn't have the strength to just be by myself and get, most brothers don't. You heard prison stories where brothers go in certain prisons and right away they got to find a group for their protection and their connection. So we got to find a group for our protection and our connection as men. Now, when you older, that's different. You 50, you don't live your life. 60, when you're young and you coming up, upcoming, you looking for your vibe and your tribe. So part of this problem with violence, it's the message in the group. My thing is that you got to meet the group and give some opportunity to the group. Now, let's get a little deeper. One of the things that we were offered at one time in our group, people hired the NOI for security. So a lot of us made money through security. We got so good at it, some of us started running our own security companies. But we learned that because as black men, we were looking for a vibe and a tribe. And since we were militant, since we studied martial art, since we, looked at everything within sight and sound, we decided to use our skill set, which was, we like, don't start none, no be none. We are together. You come against one of us, you come against all of us. We even one time had a group in Bridgeport that we also was a gang. We met with them. And we said, you know what? It ain't the fact that you're together. It's the fact that we don't condone the killing of each other. But y'all looking for a brotherhood. And when you look throughout the brotherhood, you're going to find my father wasn't there. XYZ. My mother's kind of caught out. I don't have the older OGs in my family to really guide me. So this group suffices a need. I play ball. I got to be with the team. Wherever the team goes, that's where I go, bro. It's still strength. So understanding that young men like to travel in packs to give them a sense of belonging. Just how it is. So, and I'm going to close on this note. Luckily, the group that I ran with, most of us were trying to do something to uplift our community. Now, you see brothers on the street with bikes, right? And you see them all together in dirt bikes, and you're probably saying, look at these damn fools. They're going to get killed. They don't give a damn. It is the vibe. It is the tribe. It is the strength. And looking to the left, my homies on the left. Looking to the right, my homies on the right. We're looking at front, and the one in the back now, the ones in the back, they be with the cell phone catching. The brothers be dipping and slipping, putting their feet up, riding, wheeling. Woo! They're not hurting anybody. A little reckless, but it's the vibe and the tribe and the unity. Now, what we can say, let's find that group that was riding yesterday. How many of y'all want to learn a skill? How many of y'all want to trade? Bring the whole damn group. We're going to give an opportunity for you to look at what we do and make some money, get paid, get a better bike. Huh? Because when you have a way to make money and to have a trade, or you have a skill, now that empowers you, empower the group. They gave us in the NOI because they knew we were militant security, and some brothers had their own security. How do you think I learned how to build a business? Why do you think I have a home school and it's all boys? Not because I got anything against girls. It's because boys are attracted to how I run things. It's about strength and numbers and guidance and making them feel strong again, but giving them some direction. Let's talk about that. Let's not run them off the block. Let's try to get them on the block at once and come up with a plan of how we're going to put some money in their pockets, some knowledge in their heads, and empower them in groups and give their group the credit. When I was younger, and I'm going to close, I was like 9 or 10, and breakdancing was out. For us to get a graffiti shirt and a name belt and a hat with 12 or 13 other brothers that were together doing the same thing, there's a beauty in that, a sense of belonging. Huh? And so let's look at that. And let's look at the fact that a sense of belonging in the group is just important as the young men. And let's not talk at them. Let's see if we can invite the groups, huh? Or meet the groups and provide opportunities to the groups. My idea of education stop looking at the centralization of schools and bring it to the community. You know how many brothers call me returning citizens and say, I need the math and reading to pass a test? But if we got groups of brothers that can shake hands with each other, say, what's up, son? You just coming home? I'm coming home. Man, this is cool, man. We're going to meet at the center, man. We're going to learn this real quick. We're going to get a skill. We're going to do it together. Give us a sense of belonging. So many brothers go back and hit the streets because they feel isolated. And most of those who gave them a sense of belonging are still out on the block. So I want you to look at it from another angle, that as brothers, we travel in packs. Our vibe, our tribe is our vibe. And as young people, we're looking for a sense of belonging. And if you don't kick it with all of us, you might not kick it with none of us. So I'm going to close on this note. You could say what you want about Minister Farrakhan. You could say what you want. But I remember us going down the Crenshaw Boulevard. It's a place in LA. You probably heard NWA talk about it. You probably heard Kendrick Lamar talk about it. 300 to 400 Black men on 2 blocks. And the reason that they hang together is for protection, sense of belonging. Black men don't feel like they belong in America, but damn it, when I hit the block with my homies, at least I feel like I belong. What y'all gonna do for the group? Let's think about it. Peace and blessings.